one of the more fun units that we do that encompasses law of sine, law of cosine, some trig, is the course bearing unit, course bearing section. And so basically, we're going to start out by defining bearing as the angle measured clockwise from the north. So if I have something like this, and I said 45 degrees from the north, it would be from the north 45 degrees like this. Okay, so that's what it means, clockwise from the north. Okay, so knowing that, we're going to try some problems here. And the way you have to visualize these problems is it's a view from, if you were way up high in the sky and you were looking down and you could see things moving, like airplanes moving below you. Okay, so two airplanes leave the airport at the same time. So here's the airport. And one flies at a course of 72 degrees. So 72 degrees at a speed of 620 miles per hour. And keep in mind now they're going to fly for 2.5 hours. So that's going to be a distance, 620 times 2.5 is going to be 1550. So that distance is 1550. The other one is flying at a course of 129 degrees. So 129 degrees clockwise from the north will look something like this. And so it's going to fly up to here at a speed of 580 miles per hour. It's going to be a little bit less, 2.5 hours. It's going to be 1450 miles. After 2.5 hours, how far apart? So we're looking for this distance right here. Let's call it D. We're looking for how far apart that is. Okay, and keeping in mind here that this is 72 degrees and the green is 129 degrees. Okay, so we got a triangle here. And I know two sides, and I think I can find this middle angle right here. This angle right here. It's just going to be the green angle minus the red angle. So it's going to be 57 degrees, right? 129 minus 72 is 57. And now I'm in a situation where I'm given a side, an angle, and a side, which means I can use the law of cosine to find this side D. And so it's going to be D squared equals 1550 squared plus 1450 squared minus 2 times 1550 times 1450 times the cosine of angle 57. And then solve for D. D is going to end up being equal to 1434.17. Then I just kind of take a look at that and see if that makes sense. It does seem to make sense with the other numbers in the problem. One hint here, a couple things. One is make sure you're drawing this big enough on your sheet of paper as you're doing this. The other one is to make sure that you are doing things relatively accurately. If you don't, things are going to get very ugly on your sheet of paper. Okay, let's try one more and then I'm going to let you try a couple on your own. So a ship is going to leave at a course of 135 degrees. So let's see, the ship's going to leave here. And 135 degrees is like right there. And the ship is going to leave, and it's going to travel 160 miles. And then now the ship's going to change course. So in this case, I'm going to draw another like little crosshairs or axes right here, because it's going to change course. And it's going to change course to a bearing of 215 degrees. So starting from the north, here's 180, and then past that is going to be 215, and so it's going to be something like this, and it's going to travel 220 miles, so it's going to go something like that. Okay, and then so that is 215 degrees. 215 degrees. The red one was 135 degrees. And so I'm going to try to find this length right here. Let's call this side D. So I'm going to need to find some angles here. I know that this is 215 right here, so I know that this remaining portion is going to be 35, 65, so it's going to be 55 degrees. And I also know that this from here to here is going to be 45 degrees. So that means that this is also going to be 45 degrees, because hopefully you can see the alternate interior angles here. Okay, so you see the alternate interior angles. So that means that the entire angle right there is going to be 100 degrees. And so I'm going to plug it into the law of cosine again. D squared equals 160 squared plus 220 squared minus 2 times 160 times 220 times the cosine of 100. And D is going to end up being 293.64. You're supposed to determine how many fewer miles. So this would be the direct distance versus 160 plus 220. I think the fewer miles ends up being 86.36 miles. And I'm supposed to find the bearing, the course bearing that I would have traveled had I gone directly. So I'm supposed to find the course bearing that if I had gone directly. So I'm supposed to find this right here. Okay, and what I need to find here is I really need to find, since I know all three sides, I need to find this angle right there. We'll call it theta. And I can use the law of sine for this. So the sine of theta over 220 is equal to the sine of 100 over the side that we just found, which is this one, 293.64. And I'm going to end up using inverse sine, and to find theta, it's going to be 47.55. And so this angle is 47.55. That is not the course bearing. Keep in mind that the course bearing is from the north, and I need to add this piece, this 135 to it, the red piece. And so it's going to be plus 135 degrees. And so the final answer will be 182.55 degrees. That would be the course bearing. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. I'm going to let you try the problems that I'm going to assign. I think there's 2 on the back that are pretty good problems to try, so good luck with those.